As a self-employed Shopify specialist, I get to work with lots of different brands. And one thing that I get all the time are brands needing help to either migrate over to Shopify or to upgrade their existing theme. And the challenge is, this usually costs thousands. So I can't always help every brand that gets in touch. So that's why my partner and I decided to build a pre-made Shopify theme. We wanted to combine our experience and expertise and create something that's fully optimized, conversion focused, and ready to go without the big price tag. It's designed so you can download it and install it yourself, and then just tweak things like the content, imagery, and branding. And we've called this theme Valentina. It has been designed with jewellery brands in mind, but honestly, it can work with pretty much any niche. And everything from colours to styling can be easily customised to suit your brand. This video is a full installation guide for anyone who's already bought the theme. But if you haven't yet and you'd like to take a look, I'll include a link in the description below where you can find out more and preview the theme. And if there is a specific niche you'd like us to build a theme for, then let us know in the comments below. Would love to hear your thoughts. Firstly, thank you for purchasing the Valentina Shopify theme. Here is a quick overview of what this video will cover. We'll look at installing the theme, customizing it, and publishing it to your store. There is no coding needed, and it is very beginner friendly. But if you have any issues during this process, feel free to reach out to us and we'll be happy to help. And alongside this video, we also have a written guide if you prefer. So step 1 is the installation. First of all, you need to download the zip file provided. And once you have that, you'll need to head to the back office of your Shopify store. So from here, we'll click into Online Store and make sure we're on the Themes page. And then in the top right, we'll see Import Theme. Click on that and choose the Upload Zip file. Add the zip file from your downloads. Select your zip file and then click Upload. And we can see this being installed. It can take a while, so just give it a few minutes. But once it has, then we just need to click on Edit Theme. So this is the first thing you'll see, but don't be alarmed when you don't see any images or logos. It's not going to look like the theme just yet, as shown here. We just need to go through a few things, but it's nothing too complex. So the first step is to go to the theme settings, and we can access this by clicking on this top left cog. And the three main areas of focus for now are logo and favicon, colors, and typography. So let's click into logo and favicon. From here, we just need to add our logo. So let's do that. Then we'll notice our logo is now appearing on the header. If you want to change this height on desktop or mobile, you can just use these sliders. And throughout this process, I do recommend constantly checking between desktop and mobile. Nowadays, most traffic to your store will be on mobile. To do that, we just need to click on this icon top right, and this will toggle between desktop and mobile. So I think personally, my logo is too big for now. So let's just change the mobile height slider. That's a bit better. And likewise for desktop, let's just bring that down a bit. Perfect. Now the favicon is the little icon next to your website name. So when you're on a website browser and you have multiple tabs open, you'll see the website name, and to the left of it, there'll be an icon. That's what we need to upload here. So for now, I'm just going to use the same logo. And when it comes to image dimensions, we have listed in our installation guide our recommended sizes. So for your logo, favicon, and other images throughout this whole site, please refer to that. Next up, we'll click into colors. So we have installed this theme with 4 preset color schemes, and each scheme can be assigned to a certain section. So for example, when we look at this top announcement bar, we can see that we are using scheme 3. If I wanted to change that to scheme 2 or scheme 1, I can just click into announcement bar, change the scheme, and that's it. But before we get to that part, just click through these schemes, making sure you're happy with how the colors are set up. For example, in scheme 1, we can see here's the background, heading color, text, links, your primary button, secondary button, inputs like on your forms, variants and selected variants. Once you're happy with the color schemes, now let's look at typography. From here, you can adjust your body, subheading, headings and accents, i.e. your links. And if you want to change any of these fonts, just simply click on the font Shopify provide a lot to choose from, and then you can choose the style of the font from this drop down at the bottom. And once you're happy, then click done. And then for each one of these fonts, we can then come down to the text presets. And from here, we can play with the size, spacings, case, etc. And just make sure you keep hitting that save button throughout these edits to prevent losing any of the changes you've made. Now, as I said, these 3 sections are your main focus for now, but I still recommend clicking through these other sections, just making sure that you're happy with the current setup, as it's much easier to change things here in one place that affects the whole site rather than changing, for example, all your buttons one by one. You can just click into your buttons, adjust the buttons here in one place, and then hit save. Now, this theme comes with multiple saved templates, and you can see these templates by clicking on this drop down in the top center of your screen. So we're currently on the home page, but you can see on this list all the other templates we've got. And when it comes to the page templates, we can see under pages. Here, we have already preloaded this theme with specific templates. For example, our story, product care, size guide, stockists. Now, don't worry, if you don't want to use any of these templates, you don't need to. They can just stay within the theme, and then they're there ready to use if and when you need to. So let's kick off by looking at the home page. First up, we've got this top announcement bar. This is a great place to shout out promotions or USPs. For example, at the moment, we have got free delivery over £50. You can add multiple messages here, hence seeing these arrows, which scroll between your multiple messages. And they also look great on mobile. And you can see these messages on the left-hand side here. If I click into the first one, we can then see we've got our text field. We can link it to a specific place. So if you had a deliveries page, I would recommend linking that to your deliveries page. Change the font, spacing, etc. And if you want to reorder, we can just click and hold and then drag to the second place. And if you wanted to add a new message, just click on Add Block, click Announcement, and then you've got the same fields here. And a top tip, if you want to save a bit of time, and this is the same throughout the entire theme, you can right-click on a specific element, copy, and then right-click, paste after. That way, it will copy all your pre-existing settings. If, for example, though, you don't want to show this announcement bar, you can just hover over this announcement bar on the left-hand side and then see this eye icon, and then just click on that, and it'll hide the entire bar. Or you can keep the announcement bar live, and rather than deleting these announcements, you can just hide the ones you don't want. Next up is the header. So let's click into that. So we've already added the logo, so we don't need to worry about that. But when we click into the menu, you'll notice that this menu you're seeing differs from the one on the preview theme, as shown here. This is because it is inheriting the default menu that you've got on your store currently. So if you wanted to change or adjust this menu, click on the drop down and click either Replace or Edit. If we click on Replace, we can choose from our other menus that we've got currently set up. If you wanted to create a new menu, just click on this at the bottom. This will take you to the menus area in the back of your Shopify store. From here, you can start a new menu and then start adding your relevant pages that you want to show. Once you're happy, click Save, close this tab, and then we should see our new menu here. Just note that if you are going to use your main menu, that any changes you make to it will change this theme and also your currently live theme. So if you don't want that to happen, just make sure that you create new menus for this theme. And as I mentioned earlier, if you wanted to change the color scheme for this header section, we can just make sure we're on the header, scroll down until we see color schemes, and then we can change color scheme 1 to color scheme 3. And we can see that is updated there. Next up is our hero banner. So let's click into that and let's find an image to use. So on the left-hand side, click into image. Let's just choose this one for now. And if you wanted to add a separate image for your mobile version, you can choose that under here. And let's just toggle to see what it looks like on mobile currently. Okay, that's fine for now, for this example. And to edit this text and call to action, you can either hover over and just click in onto the element, or scroll on the left-hand side down here and click into the particular section. and then adjust these accordingly. Key thing here is just make sure that your button, your call to action, is going to the right place. And again, when it comes to image dimension sizes, we have shared this in the written instructions guide. Next up, we have our reviews summary. So for this example, we are using Judge Me. Judge Me is the app that we recommend for all Shopify stores. It's very feature heavy for a cost of only $15 a month. If you need help installing or migrating to Judge Me, then I do offer this as a separate paid service, which you can find out more on my website, or you can find the guides on how to do this yourself on Judge Me's website. If you're using another provider right now, you can just click into it and change this for your app block that you're using. For example, if you're using Trustpilot, you should see this down here, and you can change that accordingly. Now, reviews are very important, and I highly recommend using these reviews because it does really help with conversion. If you think of yourself as a shopper, I think one of the first things you do check is the reviews. So strongly recommend get this set up, but worst case scenario, if you don't have it, you can just click onto the section and then hover over on the left-hand side and then hide this section. Then we have our featured collections. So click into that. And on the left-hand side, you may notice that you've got a few errors here. This is because we link to our collections when developing this store, but our collections are going to be different to yours. So all we need to do here is just click on the X for each one, then click on select and choose the collections that you want to feature. If you see something like this where there's no image, then that is because your collection doesn't yet have an image. So to add an image, you just need to go to that collection and then click here, add an image. Hit save. And if you want to adjust these settings, feel free to adjust these to however you need. For example, changing it from 4 columns to 3. And I don't want it shown as a grid now, I want it to show as a carousel. And when it comes to your heading, this is your first H2 heading, which is important for SEO. So just ensure that you've done some research into a good, suitable heading for your brand. And once you've found that, just click into it and change the font here, making sure that the H2 is still selected. Then we come to this rich text area. This is a great way to call out your brand story or a message along with a CTA. The goal here is to keep it concise and clear. So we've given you an example here that it's gifting made easy. Brief sentence and a call to action, which goes to our gifts collection. So adjust these areas to suit your brand. And again, the key area is to make sure that this shop now button is going to the right place. So just click into that and then change this link to go to the right collection. Let's say all collections. And just a reminder, let's keep hitting that save button. Then we have this secondary hero section. So it's the same setup as your top hero banner, but it's just another way to call out or feature your promotion, a new collection, etc. So likewise, we'll just click into it, choose an image, and again, just adjust these. We then come to this marquee section. This shows some scrolling text. You can adjust the speed, the spacing, and the messaging. At the moment, we're just showing the one message, but you can add multiple. And to do that, we can just click on the left-hand side here, right click, and then duplicate. And we can change this one to say something else. Then we have this secondary review section. So this is also using Judge Me, but it is going into a little bit more detail with some recent reviews in card format. So if you're already on Judge Me, this will link up automatically. But as I mentioned earlier, you may just need to change this to your current provider or just hover over the section, click on the eye icon and hide it if you don't want it. Then we have this featured products section. So this is a great way to feature a specific collection. Just note that you can't pick products from different collections. This only works using one collection. So you can see here on the left that we chose bestsellers. But if we want to change that, let's just replace and then pick front page. And when it comes to the title, you'll see that it is called front page, which is the same as what the collection is called. That is because if you click into the collection title, you'll see that there's this blue field here. This is a meta field. So it'll basically just say, whatever the collection is called, I will just pull through that as a title. If you'd rather rename this, you can just type whatever you want it to be, and then just click into that and remove dynamic source. Just make sure that this is saved as a H2, then hit save. And then here we've got a couple of image and text sections along with another rich text area. And on mobile, these look great because they stack image, text, even though on desktop they are alternating. So for both these sections, you'll just pick an image and adjust like we have before, the content. And for this rich text area, you can just click into it, adjust the content here and save. Or, as mentioned, just hide the quote if you don't want it. Then we come to this blog post section. Now a blog is great for SEO. It's a way of finding new traffic to your store that may not have heard of you yet. They could be searching for how to care for your jewellery, for example. They come onto your post and then start clicking through your website, and you never know, might sign up to your emails or even purchase one of your products. And if you've already got some blog posts live, we can just click into this blog section and then on the left-hand side, choose our blog. So we'll click replace, and my one on this test theme is called news. And then we'll see it's pulled through my articles there. And as I mentioned earlier, this title is pulling through the blog title. So it is dynamic, but if you want to change it, feel free to go in and adjust. Then we come to this footer section. So from this email newsletter down, all these areas, these are shown on all pages across your entire site. The benefit of doing this is you only have to edit it in one place. So all these sections we've already done is just unique to the homepage template. Footer is the same across everything. So the first section we're featuring is this newsletter sign up. This is a great way to capture emails and offer incentives if possible. For example, get 10% off your first order. If you're unable to do so, then you can just say sign up to get notified on our new product releases. But we do find that offering some sort of incentive really does help. So by default, this is just a form that's built into the theme. So if someone were to enter their email address here and click submit, that would create a new customer record in the back of your Shopify store. To get this to work with your email platform, if you have like a welcome flow or they get emailed the discount code, then you just need to ensure that that is linked up. Whether you're using Shopify email or Klaviyo, I won't go into that in this video. So just ensure that this is tested and fully working before your site goes live. Now your USP section, it's a great way to highlight any benefits you've got. For example, free shipping, handmade in the UK, whether you're using recycled materials, etc. You can change the text and even change the icon. You can do that by clicking into it, and then just from this list, you can pick whatever it is that you need. Then the bottom half of our footer, on the left-hand side, we've got this short brand bio. So the logo has already pulled through because we set that up earlier. Then you can just add a short brand bio line into here. And when it comes to the social icons, just click into that. And on the left-hand side, just update these links to your social profiles. And if you don't want an icon to show, just make sure that it's empty and then it will disappear. Then we have a 3-column layout on desktop, which on mobile stacks vertically. So this gives you the option to feature 3 key menus. So if we look at our preview theme, we scroll to the bottom, we can see that we're featuring about related links, anything to do with help, and then some of our popular collections. So this can be customized to whatever it is you need. And as we did earlier, you can just customize this menu by clicking into it, replacing, choosing one of your menus, or creating a new menu for each column. And then finally, on the homepage, we've got this utility section. So a few things are going on here. First of all, we've got our payment icons. These will show depending on whatever payment setup you have installed. So if you've got PayPal, that should show. If you don't, it won't, etc. And when it comes to your terms and policies, there's this sub menu here. So when I hover over it, I can then choose my cookies policies or privacy policy. Now this is linked up to the policies that you've set within Shopify. So if you haven't set them up, it won't show. So to ensure you've got policies set up, let's just click into the policies link. And then you see on the left-hand side here, manage policies. If I click on that, it'll open up a new screen under my Shopify settings, under policies, and then we can just adjust these under here. Once you're happy, save that and then head back to the theme. Okay, so that is the homepage template all sorted. Next up, we're going to look at the product page. So head to your top navigation, click on that, head to products, and then default product. And this will take us to our product page. If you want to look at a particular product while you're editing, at the top left-hand side, you can see you can toggle between your products. So let's say I want to look at the black bottle bundle. And we can just do that to make sure we're happy how it's looking across multiple products. So your product images will pull through automatically from your product pages. Our recommendation is to feature between 4 and 6, making sure you show different angles and lifestyle shots to really sell the product. And again, our recommended dimension sizes are featured in the installation guide. And then when we look over to the left-hand side, we've got this product details section. And within this detail section, we've got multiple blocks featured. And just as a top tip, if you find that this small window isn't big enough, then we can just click on this and then drag this down so we can see it a bit clearer. So the first section we've got is a header. We can see that it's got the product badges and product title within it. Just so you're aware, within this product badges, when I click into it, you'll see that there's some code in here. We'll discuss product badges a little bit later, but for this area, you just don't need to worry about. I've just coded it in and it will automatically update itself. And then we've got another review section. So this again is linked to our Judge Me stars rating, which if you're already on Judge Me, this will link up automatically, or you can replace with your current provider. Or alternatively, again, you can just hide the review section if you don't want it. And then when we scroll down, we've got our price, we've got the SKU, so these will just automatically show. And then we've got our promo code section. So this is an optional section. If you've got a sale on, or if you want to encourage some purchases with a code, then you can use this section here. And you can just click into it and customize the text however you need. Or if no promotions are on, we can just hide this section. I would advise hiding sections rather than deleting, because if you ever do want this feature in future, you can just unhide it and use it rather than having to rebuild it again from scratch. And then below our add to bag section, we've got a few USPs. So this is a great way to reinforce trust. And you can change these to however you need, change the icons, change the text, adjust this to however suits your brand. You've got this area, which is your product description, which will automatically pull through whatever you've written in the back office for that product. And then we've offered a few accordion sections, which we think are relevant for a jewellery brand. If you're not a jewellery brand, then you can still use this theme. You can just adjust these to whatever suits your needs. So for each accordion, if we click into it, first up, we've got the delivery. So when we click into that, we've got the delivery table, then we can expand that, and then we've got our delivery heading along with our multiple delivery methods. So let's click into the delivery header. I should expand this on the right so we can see what we're looking at. So our delivery header, at the moment, we have got 1, 2, 3 columns, method, price, and time. If I wanted to remove a column or add a column, so if I added one, let's just duplicate this, you'll see that it splits into 4 columns. 4 at the top. However, the rows below are still only 3. So once you do that, you'll just need to ensure that you go to each delivery method and then add a new column, like that. So just make sure that all your delivery rules are set up correct. And the key area for all of these accordions is making sure that these links are linking to your correct pages. And we can get to that text by just scrolling down below these delivery methods. We'll see this text field here. Click into that, adjust the text, and then click into edit link, just making sure you're going to the right place. And click done. And then just repeat these steps for your return policy, size guide, and product care. And at any point you want to preview this theme in a separate window, you can do that by first of all just making sure you've saved top right, and then click on this drop down menu here, and then click preview. Once you click on that, that'll open up a new tab and you can click around making sure the links are taking them to the correct places. So one thing we've built on our theme, which you can't see here yet, is recommended upsells or pairs well with. Now this is using an app called Search and Discovery. Search and Discovery is an app built by Shopify and is free. So I highly recommend installing it because it does this along with a few other things too. So what you'll want to do is head to the Shopify App Store and then search for Search and Discovery. And you can see I've already got it installed, but if you haven't, just click install. And then once it's installed, you can just search for the app, open it up. And then we'll see on the left-hand side, recommendations. Click into that. So we'll search for the product, green plastic bottle. and then click into it. And then we can go to this section here, edit complementary products. Let's add a few to that. Click add, then hit save. And then let's refresh this area and we'll see some complementary products appear just under this product care. So let's refresh. Then we've got this pairs well with, which works as a carousel. You can slide. And if you want to adjust what the text says, just click into it and edit here. Then we come to this review section here, which again is using Judge Me. So we've turned the setting on at the moment that if no reviews are showing, then this widget will hide. But just to show you what it looks like on the front, let's go to a product and you'll see the stars underneath the title. So when I click on that, scroll me down to this section here. So this is what it will look like. But as always, if you don't want it and you don't have reviews, you can just click into the review section and then hide it. You've got this you may also like section, which will automatically populate from Shopify. But you can also use the search and discovery app if you do want to force what is shown as a recommendation. And that is done by just scrolling down below this section we worked on just a minute ago. You'll see edit related products. So these are auto-generated at the moment, but you can browse and show whatever items you need. Then finally, on the product page, we've got these two editorial sections. And the reason why we put these editorial blocks on the product page as well as the collection page is that you can get traffic landing directly on your product and collection pages. And it's a real good way to introduce your brand, tell your story, build trust, etc. So you can make these sections differently if you want, but for me, I'm happy using the exact same that we've got on the homepage. So I just need to copy and paste. And to do that, I'll just head back to the homepage, scroll down to this section here, making sure that I've got the whole editorial section highlighted. So click on editorial, right click, copy, head back to our product template. And then I want it after this you may also like section. So click into that and then right click on recommended products and then paste after. And then that is copied over. Obviously, we've not made any changes on the homepage, so it's not any different right now, but that's just a real good way to copy and paste sections from different templates to other areas of your site without doing it all manually. So let's save the product template. Next up, we'll head to the collection template. Now with our collection template, we can do the same that we did with our products. So at the moment, we're previewing the front page. If I want to look at the main collection, for example, I'll click into that. So all three of these areas, your image, your title, and your text is all linked dynamically. Now I would leave this as it is, don't edit this because this is a template that is being used across all collections. So if I were to go into here and put in some extra text, then that will show on every collection. If that's okay and you want that, then great, but just be aware that this is one template used across all. I'll just delete that and put it back to what it was. And just below the header, we have this filtering and sorting bar. This is also linked up to the search and discovery app by Shopify. So we've got availability, product type, price, tags, and USP set up currently. So let's just head back to the search and discovery app. Click into search and discovery. But instead of clicking into recommendations this time, we're going to click on filters. And here we've got all of our filters set up. If I wanted the price to be shown before the product type, I can just click, drag, pop it above, and then hit save. And let's refresh this. Then we've got the price before the product type. If I wanted to go and create a new filter, then I would do that by going back to here, top right, click on add filter. You can select a source and you can use any of these that are set up, or you can set up new meta fields. So if you have lots of product meta fields like size, material, color, dimensions, etc., you can link the filter up to one of the product meta fields and then click save, and then you'll see that that will be shown here. And once you've saved that, that will then give your customers the ability to filter across here by material, say gold or silver. And this just really helps customers to find exactly what it is they're looking for. And likewise, the bottom of the collection, we've got these editorial sections, which again, you can copy and paste from either your homepage or product page templates. And once you're happy, just make sure that this collection template is saved. Now let's head to the next section, which is our checkout. So click on the menu and then head to checkout and customer accounts. And from here we can adjust how the checkout looks. So we can make sure that the logo is correct, the colors, the font, call to actions, the buttons, etc. The one thing to be aware of here is you'll see at the top here, we've got Customise Live. So this is currently our live checkout. So whatever changes I make here will automatically show on the live store. If you're okay with that, that's fine. It's only your styling really that you edit here. But if you are in the process of like completely changing your brand colors, then I would recommend creating a new checkout that you can style up. And then once you launch your new theme, you can launch your new theme and this new checkout together. To create a new checkout, what you need to do is head to your settings within Shopify. So bottom left, click on settings, then let's click on checkout. So you can see we've got that customized live that we were just in. But if I wanted to create a new one, all I need to do is click on duplicate, then click into customize. Now I can edit this one up. You can then just head back into this checkout theme and then click on the top right, publish. And once you've saved the checkout, you can then head back into the Valentina theme and continue editing. Next up is the page templates. So under pages, you'll see that we've got multiple layouts set up. So you can go through each one of these templates, ensuring that you're happy with the layout, the content, and all the links, so it's working correctly for your brand. So let's just hop into a few of these page templates so I can show you some examples. First up is the contact page. And then the key thing here is just making sure that this content is correct and you're linking to the correct page if you have a link. And the contact form will automatically link up to your store email address. Then we have our delivery page. Now, like on our product page, this is set up in the same manner. So we have our delivery heading, delivery rows, and you can add in additional columns or hide columns that you don't need. But again, just work down this list, making sure it's all correct, all the content, click into each section, making sure you're happy and it is correct for your brand. And you have a final CTA at the bottom, which we are linking to the all collections URL for now. If you want that to go to, say, your bestsellers, you'll just click into collections and change accordingly. We have an FAQs page. So for each one of these is an accordion. So you can either click into each one or on the left-hand side, use this navigation and then expand each question. So we've got our question within the accordion row, and then below that we have a text field, which is our answer. And if you want to add or remove these questions, you can do so by just hovering over and clicking either the delete or the hide button. Or if you need more, just right click and duplicate. And if you ever needed to move one of these questions from another section, for example, what we'll do is just click into where you deliver. Let's say we want to put that under order issues. So where do you deliver? Just click to the left of that accordion and we can just pull that down. And let's pop that under here. So that is now under the heading, order issues. We have a little divider, which is that faint line there. And then the first question is, where do you deliver? So I just wanted to show how easy that was to move questions around above, below, or even to different sections. So just ensure you're happy with all these questions. And there's a final rich text area here at the bottom where you can just change the heading, change the text, and then there's a call to action, which will go to our contact page. Next up is our story page. So you can adjust the intro copy, the images and text, all the way down, along with a 3-column layout here, which again, if you need more columns, just feel free to right click and duplicate, and that'll turn it into 4. Just always check how it looks on mobile to make sure you're happy. And you've got a lot of choice for the icons. So you can just click onto an icon and then choose from the drop down like that. Then we have this section where we can feature specific collections like we did on the home page. So for this example, I want to use the exact same setup that we've got on the home page. So let's go to the home page template, scroll down to the featured sections, and then click into that, right click, copy, head back to our story page, and I want it after this section, right click, paste after. Then I can just remove this other section that we don't need anymore. Then hit save. We also have a product care template, which is another great way to just help your customers understand your products and how to care for them. But again, these templates are completely customizable. If you don't want to use it, you don't have to. You can change it, hide or show sections, add in new sections, etc. You've then got your size guide and stockists. So on your size guide, like with your delivery tables, you can adjust these however you need. And then below these tables, we have these nice info blocks that we've just used an example here on how to find your perfect necklace length with some instructions, but you can change these to however you see fit. And finally, we've got the stockist template. So if your products are being stocked in multiple locations, you can highlight these on this template. So we've got a 3-column layout at the moment. So let's just expand this a bit. So we've got 3 columns as shown here. And if we expand column 1, you'll see that we've got location set, which is the London. If I wanted to duplicate this location, just right click and duplicate. So that is now sitting in position 2 under column 1, as shown like that. If I wanted to move this second London location to column 3 in position 1, all I need to do is let's just expand column 3, and I'll just drag that location to above in column 3. And just like that, we've got London above Bath. And with these 3 columns, they will stack in order. So it'll go London, Birmingham, London, Bath. London, Birmingham, London, Bath, as shown. And let's just say you only wanted 2 columns. All you need to do there is just hide column 3, and then that will dynamically fill the page with however many columns you've got. So in this example, from 3 to 2. Then hit save. Next up is our blog template. So let's click into blogs and default blog. So what we need to do is get this to link up to our blog. So let's click into the blog post grid, drag this up a bit. And we want to replace this from journal to whatever our blog is called, which is called news. Click onto that. And we can now see that the title, the copy, and the articles are pulling through correct. That's all we need to do on that page. So hit save. Now we need to look at the individual blog article layout. So for that, we go to blog posts and default blog post. So on your blog article template, this black background here is actually an image, and this image is whatever you've set on your blog post. So let me just show you what I mean. Let's click on this icon here, open up the blog post. So I've actually got this test blog post header here, the title, along with some dummy text. Head back to our theme, you'll see that that is the image behind. This title is being pulled dynamically along with the content here. So there's actually nothing you need to do on this top part of the section. The title, the image, and the content will pull through dynamically. The only thing we need to do is at the bottom, we are linking to related blog posts. So we just, again, need to link this to our blog category, which isn't called journal, it is called news. Then hit save. And the final section, guys, is the 404 page. So we scroll down here and click into 404 template. Now, in my experience, a lot of Shopify stores completely forget about this page. A 404 is whenever someone goes to a URL that isn't found or it doesn't exist anymore. So this is a real good opportunity to help your customers stay on your site and continue shopping and discovering your products. So you can change this content to whatever you need, the heading, the text, and even the call to action to wherever you need them to go. So in our example, we are taking them to the home page. So just make sure you're happy with this button and where it's taking them on your store. And a real good conversion piece is including some featured products at the bottom of this 404. So this could be your new in products or bestsellers. So all we need to do is click into the collection and just change this collection accordingly. So let's say main collection. So now when a customer lands on a 404 page, they'll see this message. They can easily navigate back to the home page, or something might just catch their eye that keeps them clicking around and shopping on your store. So once you're happy with this page, just click save. So in terms of your theme customizations, that's really it. Just make sure you're happy with it. You can, again, Click on this drop down here, preview the store, just click around, making sure you're happy with where everything's going to, how it looks, desktop and mobile. But there's just one key area that you need to be aware of, and that is that all these page templates we've got set up here, as you can see, they're all set up, but they're not assigned to any pages yet. And for us to be able to assign a specific template to a page, that is done within the page setup itself. So let's just head to a specific page, go to Online Store Pages, and then go to our About page. So what I want this template to be is the Our Story page. But when I click on the right-hand side here, under Template, you'll see that all I've got is the default page, About, and Contact. But what I want is this page here, Our Story. So what we need to do is publish this theme, because all of our pages in the back are linking to whatever theme is live, which is currently this latest Horizon. It's not the Valentina theme. So let's just publish the Valentina theme by clicking on this Publish button here. Yep, I'm happy. Now that the Valentina theme is live, let's head back to the About page. Now choose the drop down. Now we can see we can choose any of our new templates. So Our Story, then hit Save. So just be aware of that. When you're clicking around previewing your store, if it is in draft mode, you won't see that specific pages have been assigned yet. Publish it first, then go through your pages and assign the correct template. And here are some extra tips. First of all, you may have noticed in the preview theme, we've got these badges showing, bestseller, new in, etc. Now these are actually linked up to product meta fields. So I'm going to show you how to set up a product meta field, assign them, and then they'll appear like this on your store. So for that, we need to go to our back office, head to Settings, and then Meta Fields and Meta Objects. Click into Products, and then we need to add a new definition. In this field, we need to type in Product Badges. And then in this Type dropdown, we need to change it from 1 to a list of values. Then for Select Type, change that to Choice List, a single line text. Once we do that, under this validation area, we'll see we've got this new field. In there, I want to type in what I want the badge to be. So let's say new in. And then if I wanted to add another one, bestseller. And you can add as many of these as you like. Finally, just toggle all these switches on and then hit save. Close that. Now let's head over to a product. So click into products, and then we'll go into this white drinks can. Scroll down towards the bottom, and you'll see this product meta fields area. And here is our new field that we just created. Once I click into that, you can see I've got these options. So let's add in new in. And if I wanted to also add bestseller, let's add that too. Then we hit save. And if we head to that product in our theme, white drinks can, you'll see that those badges are now showing. As I mentioned earlier in the video, that section is custom coded, as shown here. So this is done automatically. This will just show whatever you've set in the back of the product. And these badges are also shown in the collection view too, as you can see here, top right of this product card. And just so you know, these badges won't show if a product is either out of stock or on sale. It will just show an out of stock badge, and likewise, if it's on sale, it will show on sale. Now you may have noticed on our demo Valentina theme, we've got this unlock 10% off option in the bottom left. And when you click on that, it will show you this pop-up, and this pop-up will also automatically appear after, say, 15 seconds. Now this is set up with Shopify Forms. Shopify Forms is a free app built by Shopify. So feel free to head over to the App Store and search for Shopify Forms and install that to your theme. You'll then be able to customize the pop-up and get that to show as we've got here. Or alternatively, if you're using another platform like Klaviyo, you can just link that up how you've done on your current theme. Now, when it comes to theme updates and releases, we've actually built this on Shopify Horizons theme. And what we do is we regularly update this theme. So if you ever want to come back and re-download this theme, just head to the link that was given to you that took you to the instructions guide with the zip file, re-download that zip file, add it to your theme, restyle up this theme, how you've just done it, and then you'll have the latest version of Horizon. And as a free bonus template to help with your branding, we've provided you with a Canva template to help you set up your branding. So we wanted to offer this as a nice little add-on to help you get your brand guidelines all set up. And if you ever need to share your brand guidelines with third-party providers, just download that as a PDF and share it with them. And I just want to thank you again for purchasing the Valentina theme, and would really appreciate it if when you're prompted to give some feedback that you do so. Those reviews go a long way to help get this theme seen by other Shopify users. So it would really mean a lot if you're able to share your feedback with us. And if you struggle with any of this or need support, then please do reach out to us and we'll be more than happy to help. Thank you for watching, and I really hope this theme helps your store look amazing. If it did, then please don't forget to like and subscribe, and feel free to share this video with anyone else who may be interested. And as always, if you need a hand with anything Shopify related, feel free to reach out and I'll see you in the next one.